It's a quiet moment, but your heart is pounding in your chest. The world around you seems to slow down, and everything becomes focused on one single point. For Chris Kyle, a Navy SEAL sniper, that moment came when he was looking through his scope, aiming at a target over a mile away. His finger rested on the trigger, but the weight of his decision was heavier than anything else. Would he pull the trigger? Dear listeners, before we move forward, please subscribe my channel to hit 1,000 figure. We've all been in situations where a decision feels bigger than the moment itself, a decision that could change everything. Whether it's the pressure of making a life-changing choice, or that feeling of responsibility in a critical moment, the weight of a single decision can feel unbearable. For Chris, the choice wasn't just about his own life. It was about the lives of his comrades, the safety of the people he cared about, and the mission he had trained for. Every sniper shot has that moment of doubt, the thought that if you're wrong, everything could collapse. But this moment was different. This wasn't just a shot. It was the difference between life and death. Just imagine the fear and uncertainty. The world of war is a world where emotions are buried, yet that one decision, just a single moment in time, could haunt someone for a lifetime. And yet Chris Kyle didn't hesitate. He made that shot. But it wasn't just any shot. It was a long-range, impossible shot from over a mile away, a shot that would mark one of the most intense moments in modern war cinema. The shot Chris Kyle took was far more than just an act of precision. It was the culmination of years of training, sacrifice, and an unwavering commitment to his country. But even with all that preparation, it wasn't the military tactics that made Chris a hero. It was the human toll it took on him, a toll that didn't show on the battlefield, but echoed loudly when he returned home. Imagine this. You've been in a high-stress environment where every moment is life or death. You've seen things that most people could never imagine. You've pulled triggers, made decisions, and faced death head-on. But then, you come back home, and the world around you has moved on. No one understands what you've been through. The memories don't go away. They follow you. Chris Kyle, though celebrated as a hero, carried the weight of his actions in ways that weren't always visible to others. People didn't see the internal battle he faced every day. The sniper that hit targets from a distance, who could calculate the wind, the distance, and the timing perfectly, struggled with the emotions of being away from his family and the toll war took on his soul. This story isn't just about war. It's about the silent burdens many carry but never talk about. Whether it's the pressure of our own expectations, the weight of past mistakes, or the fear of the unknown, we all experience moments where we feel like we're fighting a battle no one can see. And, much like Chris, it's easy to feel isolated when everyone around you moves on, but you're still stuck in your own mind, trying to make sense of it all. Chris Kyle's experience is a stark reminder that heroes, even the ones we admire the most, carry a heavy load, often alone. As the story of Chris Kyle unfolds, one of the most powerful themes that emerges is the complex relationship between loyalty and duty. Chris was not only a sniper, he was a protector of his brothers-in-arms, of his country, and of the people he loved. But loyalty to these causes often comes at a cost. Loyalty, when taken to extremes, can create a sense of isolation. Chris was loyal to his team, his country, and the mission, but at what price? His relationships, particularly with his family, were strained. The love and support of his wife, Taya, were always there, but even she couldn't completely bridge the gap between the soldier and the man who came home. How do you reconcile the person you are with the person you have to be? It's not a simple question, and the emotional gap that war creates can seem impossible to overcome. When we talk about duty, we often forget to ask what it takes from those who serve. It's easy to romanticize sacrifice and commitment, but the truth is, the human cost is real. Chris's story shows us that when someone is constantly in a state of survival, both physically and mentally, it's hard to let go, even when the war is over. There's no manual for how to transition from a battlefield mindset back to civilian life. No one tells you how to deal with the scars that remain unseen. Chris Kyle's loyalty to his brothers in arms was fierce. He was often referred to as the most lethal sniper in U.S. military history, a title that, while impressive, only deepened his sense of responsibility. He had a mission, not just to serve his country, but to keep his fellow soldiers safe. And that loyalty was something he would carry with him for the rest of his life, long after the war had ended. In a way, we all face this battle between our loyalty to others and the toll it takes on ourselves. Whether it's work, family, or friendships, there's a constant balancing act between doing what's expected of us and maintaining our own well-being. Chris Kyle's story is a testament to the complexity of that balance, reminding us that loyalty and duty come with consequences we often fail to see. While Chris Kyle's story is often defined by his incredible feats on the battlefield, there's an entirely different battle that most don't see: the silent, personal struggles he faced every day after coming home. The world applauded his sniper skills, his heroism, and his courage. But who was there to recognize the invisible wounds left by years of war? It's often said that war doesn't end when the soldiers come home. For many, it lingers long after they leave the battlefield. Chris Kyle, like so many others, fought an invisible war against his own demons, the echoes of war, the trauma, the memories of the faces he saw, the decisions he had to make, and the men he lost. This is the battle that most people don't see, the one that takes place inside a person's mind and soul. For Chris, the hardest fight came not from the enemy across the ocean, but from the experiences that haunted him long after he put his rifle down. PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, is a silent killer that affects millions of veterans. It's not something that can be seen on a surface level, but it can consume a person from the inside. For many soldiers, it's the hardest thing to talk about. It's a shame that often prevents them from reaching out for help. But there's a crucial point here. Even in the darkest moments, there's strength in facing your battles. Chris, despite all his pain and internal struggles, found ways to give back to his community, helping other veterans cope with their own experiences. He spent time with other soldiers who had gone through similar trials, finding a form of healing in helping others. The relationships he built with fellow veterans became a form of therapy, a way to connect and heal in ways words sometimes couldn't. This is a reminder to all of us. No matter how strong we seem on the outside, we all have battles that are fought quietly, inside our minds. And sometimes, the greatest form of healing comes not from confronting those battles alone, but by reaching out to others who understand. Chris Kyle's story doesn't just teach us about the courage to fight on the battlefield. It teaches us about the courage to face the wars within. Chris Kyle's journey is more than just a story of war. It's a story of sacrifice, humanity, and resilience. That long-range shot, made from over a mile away, wasn't just an extraordinary act of precision. It symbolized everything Chris Kyle stood for: a commitment to protect, to serve, and to never stop fighting for the people he cared about. But beyond the battlefield, his legacy lies in the conversations he sparked and the changes he inspired in the way we view veterans and their struggles. Statistics reveal that nearly 30% of veterans returning from combat experience some form of PTSD. The numbers are staggering, and the impact is undeniable. Yet it's often hard to comprehend the full extent of this invisible wound, especially for those who haven't lived through it. Chris Kyle's life and story brought this issue to the forefront. His openness about his own struggles with post-war trauma showed that even heroes can be vulnerable. It's a message that resonates with so many who silently suffer. Chris's story also ignited conversations about the value of community support for returning soldiers. By helping other veterans, he created a ripple effect of compassion, showing that the journey toward healing doesn't have to be a solitary one. His actions challenge society to do more, not just to honor veterans for their service, but to ensure they receive the care and support they need when they return home. What stands out, above all, is Chris Kyle's ability to take the lessons from his war experiences and use them to make a difference. His long-range shot may have saved lives on the battlefield, but his life off the battlefield continues to affect people in profound ways. His courage wasn't limited to the battlefield. It was present in the way he faced his struggles and in how he reached out to help others do the same. Chris Kyle's legacy teaches us that while one shot may change the course of history, it's the compassion, the willingness to face our inner struggles, and the courage to help others that leaves a lasting impact. His story continues to inspire not only veterans, but also all of us to face our challenges, to seek help when needed, and to support those who need it most.